Hello class, welcome to Communications 101. Today we're going to be tackling the age-old question, who is your audience? Who? And you can't say everyone because that is cheating and also just makes for bad video. So when I talk to other communications professionals, one of the most common issues that comes up is when our clients haven't really identified an audience for a particular communications or marketing piece that they're developing. And often the conversation goes something like this. So we've got this great program, resource, video thing, and we really want to tell people about it. Well, that's great. So who's your audience? The general public? So the general public is not really an audience, or at least not one you can make an effective communications piece for. Think about it. Say you've got this really great product. Maybe it's a plant-based, all-natural shampoo. I don't know. But you want everyone to buy it. But how you talk about the product to somebody who's, say, 65 and lives in the country is probably really different than how you might talk about it to somebody who's 23 living in the hip and trendy neighborhood in the city. These two people might be really different in terms of things that they value, things that interest them, and things they care about. So for the 23-year-old, you might focus on the environmental impact of the shampoo and emphasize that it's the thing to buy if you care about the planet. Or maybe you talk about the fact that all of their friends are going to have it, and so it's this new hip thing to try. Conversely, for the 65-year-old who lives in the country, their values are likely to be a little different. They may not want to pay more for a new shampoo when they've been getting by just fine with the one they bought for years. So maybe you focus on the fact that your shampoo is simple and clean and no frills and really focuses on getting back to basics, removing all those unnecessary chemicals and additives. Or you might go another direction entirely, but the point is that the story that you tell those two audiences is probably pretty different. And whenever you're trying to communicate with a larger group of people, it's important to understand some of the basic characteristics of that group of people. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should buy into all the stereotypes or go so specific that you end up focusing too narrowly on an audience, but the more that you understand about your audience, either current or desired, the better. So this week, I'm asking you to think carefully about your primary audience for this video project. These are the people that you really want your video to reach. You might have secondary and tertiary audiences too, but for now I want you to really focus in on that primary audience that you want your video to speak to. Think a little bit about who these people are. Are they younger or older, male, female, non-binary, artists, musicians, scientists, philanthropists, entrepreneurs? Tell me more! What do they like? What do they dislike? Where do they live? What challenges do they face? What problems can you help them solve? Where do they spend their time and their money? Where do they watch other video content? So, that's a lot to think about, but because you've got a lot of homework to do here, we're going to keep things pretty short and sweet this week. Basically, your homework this week is to create a profile for a person who represents your primary audience. For example, if you were going to make like a social media profile about them, what might it include? Often communications professionals will suggest going so far as to name your persona, but I find this a little bit off-putting, to be honest. But I do challenge you to get as specific as you can when you're making this primary audience profile. As promised, we're ending each week with some questions to ponder and following that up with a jumpstart activity to get you going. So you can find both the questions to ponder and the jumpstart activity at the link that is on the screen somewhere here, so head on over there to get started. And next time we're going to be talking about different video styles and what kinds of content you like. And we've even got a special guest star! Watch and learn, you will. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in some more one-on-one guidance on how to meet your video making goals, I would love to chat with you. You can reach out via the link that's on the screen right over here for a free 1-hour consultation with me. And if you're on the hunt for some more resources about making good videos, you can head on over to my website to check out my how-to YouTube and my video production basics handouts along with a bunch of other free stuff. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time, and now go forth and make some video your way.